Okay, this video is for the guards. Okay, so this first play, we're running boot. Okay, every guard should be watching this play because everyone needs to be learning what they're doing on boot. So we're running boot right. So if you're the play side guard, you're faking counter. So you still need to step down uh, and cage with the center like you normally would. But then you really need to sell this run to draw the linebackers up so we can throw the ball behind them. But then after you step down, you gallop down and you punch the hip. Then you need to come off and then pass protect because if this linebacker triggers in the B gap, you need to come off and be able to get in front of them. Okay. Now, obviously, if this nose slants to your gap, then you got to block that nose. Okay. Um, but just be aware that after you help with this double team, uh, be aware of a linebacker that might become in B gap because the tackle's got to block this four all by himself. Okay. So if this guy triggers into B gap, you have to come off and get in front of him. Okay. Backside guard, you're stepping to 5 o'clock. You're getting 3 yards of depth into the backfield, and then you are logging the first guy outside the tackle. So we're getting depth. Okay, I know we don't show it, but you can see that this outside backer starts to trigger. Okay, Ife's getting out here and he's going to go attack that outside shoulder. Okay. All right, so Xavier, you need to step down hard like a normal cage and really sell this. Okay. When you just stand like this and pass protect, this guy is going to drop immediately into his pass coverage. Okay. We got to sell run first. All right. So you need to be stepping down. The front side, you are running counter. Okay. To begin with, you are running counter. So you need to make sure you're selling it, you're selling the run, and then you can pass protect after. After 3 steps, then you can pass protect. But this looks too much like pass right away. Gabe, you need to be basing this guy and going and attacking him, okay? You got to be going and attacking him. Okay, 50s. We should have a fan call here. Okay, so we'd be blocking out. The tackle should make a fan call. This tackle should make a fan call because he's on the line of scrimmage. So we should have 2 fans. Okay, Mosman, even if you don't know if this guy's coming, make the fan call to get the guard to come out here. And even if you stay and help, okay, still make the fan call. You got to make the fan call. Okay. Because if you don't make a fan call, he's just going to sit in here and look inside for work. And he might be too late if this guy slants inside. Tackles need to make the fan call. I know I'm talking to tackles now, and this is a guard video, but guards, you need to tell this guy if he needs to make a fan call or not. He needs to be decisive. But when in doubt, make the fan call because guards, you can always go out and help. Okay. And if he makes a fan call, your guy is his four technique. That is the guy that you are worried about. Unless we make an off call. If this guy steps up on the line of scrimmage, we make an off call, then you got to block your inside gap. Okay. And he's going to block his inside gap. Okay. But these tackles need to be decisive. Okay, so Ife went out. That's good. Center has the nose all by himself. Okay, Xavier, good job going out. Okay, you want to have your inside outside knee lined up with this crotch there. Okay, attacking the inside half and forcing him upfield. That's good. Okay, that's what we want to be doing. Okay, here it looks like we're running sprint left. Yeah, we're running sprint left because of what the A-back's leading out here. On sprint, we don't make fan calls. Okay, so he should not have made a fan call. He should be blocking the four. Guards, you step to your play side gap. Okay, you punch to your play side gap. If this guy slants inside, you're going to help, and then you're going to turn back and look to pick up any sort of garbage coming from the back side. Okay, so here I'm punching to my play side gap, and then I am walking back or retreating back in this swinging door to pick anything up. So both of us are wrong here, really. Okay, we should be stepping and turning back. Stepping and turning back. Okay, I mean, this has to be sprint left because of what the A-back is doing. Okay, so both guards were wrong here. Tackles, I think we were wrong here. Okay, I don't know what happened as a miscommunication. I think this one turns out to be better, maybe. Maybe not. So we're hinging here. This is sprint right. So we need to be stepping to our play side gap and then hinging back. Stepping to our play side back gap and hinging back. Stepping to our play side gap, hinging back. Stepping to our play side gap, hinging back. It should look like a swinging door. Okay? A swinging door. You see that? You should turn into a door. Everyone's just hinging backs, coming all the way back here, making this door. That's not what happens here. This is not a good example. Okay, I know we're new. We don't pull on sprint. It's not boot. Okay. Maybe I need to do a video on sprint out. Okay, here's 50s. So let's look here. We should make a fan call. Okay, we're here, guards. If you get a fan call, you are just worried about that 4. Okay, you have that 4 unless a linebacker creeps up, then we have to call the fan off. Then we say off, 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 and then we got a block here. We block our inside gap, and then the A back is going to go block off the edge. Okay. So this is good. We're both going to that 4 technique. Now, here's the thing. We don't want to get square on them. We want to attack the inside shoulder, influence this guy to go to the outside, and then we want to run him upfield. Okay. Don't let that guy beat you to the inside. Don't get square on him. Okay. Don't get square. Get your outside knee to his crotch. Invite this guy to go outside, and then you run him outside. Do not give him an inside move because that's the fastest way to the quarterback. So here we had a fan call. This linebacker steps up. AJ made the call right. Okay, we didn't run it right, but AJ said it made an off call. Okay, or we should make an off call here. So that means AJ is going to step inside. If this guy tries to really get into this gap, AJ is just going to wash him down like a down block. Okay. Same thing here with this tackle. He's going to step inside. If that guy tries to cross his face, then game's just going to down block him and wash him down. So let's see what happens. So, yep, Gabe would have stepped down here and then washed him down there. Okay. That's what we should have done. And he should have been stepped down. And then our A back should have been coming off the edge. And then good on this side. We have a fan call. Now, same thing. Don't get square on him, Gabe. Okay. Have your outside knee lined up with his midline. Okay. Attack his inside half and force him to go outside. The last thing we want is for this guy to make an inside move and then he has a direct line to the quarterback. We want to protect the inside half. Okay. Force that guy to go out and then run him outside. Okay. We want to run him out. So once again, we messed up on this side here. We got to get pass protection figured out. Here we go. So we got 50s. We had a fan call on this side. Linebacker steps up. We make an off call. So we got a blocker inside. A back's going to come off the edge. Come right off the tackle's butt. So Mosman's wrong here. He just needs to block his inside. I don't know why it's not restarting. There we go. Good, Gabe. So if this guy tries to beat you across your face, just wash him down. Wash him that way. Wash him, wash him, wash him. Good, just like that. Perfect. That's what we need. Okay, good job, AJ, going out there. Going to that 4. See, and here comes the running back coming right off the edge. Okay, but Mosman needs to block his inside gap. Okay, that's something we've worked on a lot, so shouldn't be a mistake we're making. Okay, here we're running boot left. So here we need to get step to 5 o'clock. We need to be getting 3 yards of depth into the backfield. And we log the first guy outside the tackle. So you see, AJ, how tight you are? You're never, ever, ever going to get there at that angle. You need to step at 5 o'clock and get 3 yards of depth. See? If you would have gotten deeper, you would have reached that outside shoulder. You getting deep gives you time and space to get to his outside shoulder. Okay? If you go flat, you're giving yourself no time and space to get to that outside shoulder. You'll never get there. Okay, let's look at the play side guard. Play side guard on boot left. Remember, we're trying to run fake here, fake counter. So you step down hard on this cage double team, 3 steps, gallop down, and then you're going to come off and pass protect. Just like that, and then come off. Yep, and if this guy triggers, then we can try to get in front of him. Okay, so here we made an off call. So when we make an off call, we need to point that direction, point at the outside guy to make the A back aware of what's happening so he can go block off. You need to be yelling off, 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 and pointing this direction, okay, to let the A back can see that and he can go off the edge and block it. We got to communicate. Okay, there was no communication there. And I believe this is 50s, right? Yeah, it is. But see, there was no off call. There is no off call, so he just steps this way. The A-back had no idea that he needed to go here because we did not communicate that. Okay? So if we call the fan off, if this is off because this guy steps up, you need to point out here so he can come, so the running back knows and he can come off the edge. Okay, so that's on us not communicating that. All right. But we do step inside here. That's good. We step inside, protect our inside gap, and then wash him down if we need to. Okay, we got to make sure we're moving our feet in case he does spin out like that. Okay, so if Finley's stepping inside, that's good. I like your inside position here. Okay, and then run your feet and drive him out. Okay, watching the left guard. We got a fan call. Okay, Ife, that 4 technique's all you. I know he kind of just stops. So then you just, pick up who you can. But normally that guy would be rushing hard and then you would pick up the 4. That's what would normally happen. Okay, here now we're getting to our run plays. Now we're running power. Okay, running power to the right. So play side guard, your rule is gap on double. We should be caging with the center, working to the backside backer. Backside guard, you're pulling around the tackle, looking inside to pick up garbage. First ugly jersey. Okay, so Xavier, watching you, you gallop down, the hip disappears. Okay, you don't gallop, you turn and run. So you're already a one-way player, and it's going to be hard for you to get back on the linebacker because you turn and run. We don't want to turn and run and see how you miss him. You miss him because you turn and run, and so you have to now turn to readjust, and we don't get to him. Okay, and he's the one who makes the tackle. That's all because you turn and ran off the ball. If you stay square and gallop down like we have practiced and I have coached since the first day of practice, if you gallop down and that hip disappears, you can then, since you're square, just work straight, vertical, and be able to block that guy. Okay, so we have to do what we're coached and gallop down square so we can readjust. Okay, and Gabe, when it's power, when we're leading up through the hole and not kicking out, we skip pull, and we can work on that. Just you and I, we can talk about that. Okay, watch Ife on how he skip pulls. Okay, but that way you can be square when you get up into the hole. Because when you turn and run, okay, you're running this direction, and then you have to run that direction when you get to the hole. And once again, if there's a linebacker right there meeting you in the hole, you're never going to be in a good position to block them. So that's why we skip pull, so our shoulders stay square. Okay, shoulders stay square the whole time. So when we get up in the hole, we can meet a linebacker in the hole if we need to. But when you turn and run, you see how when you turn and run, you automatically go that way. Right now, you should be vertical right here and blocking this guy that Xavier missed. Okay, you should be skip pulling get around the tackle right here. So you got past the tackle, and now I need to be getting vertical, not that way. We want to get north and south. Because when you run that way, the running back runs that way, and that's not where the end zone is. The end zone is this direction. So we want to run that direction. We want our running back running that direction. Don't get wide. You should be right there, and our running back should be here running for a touchdown. But we're just too wide. Here's truck. Okay, our rule is gap on. If there's no one there, then we can pull on the play side. Backside, your rule is gap to cutoff. So you're just running this direction, trying to cut off this backside backer. Okay, so Gabe, watching you. Once again, we could skip pull. You get around the garbage and then you work vertical. Good. You see a guy and then you go out and block him. Good. You see he's blocked and you look inside for somebody else. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Xavier, do not mess with this guy. That guy is not going to make the play. Get going and running to go block this backside backer. You need to take off right now. Don't even stick your backside hand up on that. Run. As soon as that ball is snapped, you are running at this direction to go cut that linebacker off. Don't stick that backside hand out. Okay, we're going to run kick to the left. Okay, so everyone, our rule is gap on double. This is power without a puller. Okay, so play side, we're running gap on double. So we should be caging here to the backside backer. Uh-oh, this linebacker's creeping up into the gap. So we should make a down call. Okay, you block the backer. He's most likely going to slant that direction. Center will block the nose. Backside guard, we should have a down call because the tackle has a guy in his gap. So we should be blocking down. We should be blocking down. Everyone is down here. Okay. So let's watch. Gabe, good job picking that up. The only thing is we're too high. I want your head down on the play side number. That way we can get more in front of him. If you get your head on the play side number, he's going to have to run completely through you to get to the backfield. But if you just stick your arms out, it's really easy for someone to run through your arms and to get penetration into the backfield, which causes our running back to have to bounce more. Okay, once again, we want to get him north and south as quickly as possible. Okay, so if you get your head in front and don't give up any penetration, that's going to help us out. Okay, you see how he's able to run through your arms? Okay, you need to get more in front of the guy. Okay, maybe this was power. I'm guessing this is power because Xavier's pulling. So once again, Gabe, you not giving up penetration and flattening this guy out by getting your head in front is going to help our puller get around this so he can get into the gap. Since we give up penetration, see how he gets blown back and now he's out. He's not in a position where he can go block this linebacker. He's late. That's why we can't give up penetration. It's going to blow up the puller. We got to get our head in front. So that's a good visual right there of what we got to do on a down block. We got to get our head in front. Backside guard pulling, you can get deeper. Okay, get your feet deeper here so then you can get around the garbage and not get caught up in that stuff. Okay, we're running truck to the right. So our rule is gap on. If there's nobody there, then we can pull, get vertical. Okay, backside, your rule is gap to cut off. So really what we can do here is rip across this linebacker's face, make sure he doesn't get into the A gap. Okay, and then we can work up to a safety. Okay, so we're just ripping across his face. All right, so AJ, I'm going to watch you first. Okay, we got to get around this. So we got to, when we pull, we need to get around this as well. Now our Z needs to do a better job blocking down, but I want us to get around this as well if we can. Okay, but good job looking inside, trying to find work. So Gabe, when you're backside cut off, you are ripping, kind of like if you're on defense, you are ripping into your gap because this guy's not going to make the tackle from the backside. This guy's not going to make the tackle. So we're just going to rip across their face. And then we're going to work and try to cut off the second level. Okay, these second level cutoff blocks getting up to the safeties, these are the touchdown blocks. We need to be sprinting after the safeties because if we block that guy and we get past the first and second level, that's going to be the touchdown block right there, getting to the safety. Okay, even if the linebacker is stepped up on the line of scrimmage, the guy that you would be running to anyways, if he was off, now that he's on the line of scrimmage, we're going to treat him like a lineman. That helps us if he's up on the line of scrimmage because then we can just rip across his face and then work to a safety. And that's what we want to do on this truck play. Okay, now you do a good job reaching him. Okay. You do a good job reaching him, but we can just run by him on the backside of truck and toss. Okay. Okay, AJ, we can't jump, right? We can't jump pre-snap. We got to be careful. That'd be if this is a false start here. Okay, but you're right. So normally if we're running trap right, we would have a cage double team to the backside. It looks like there's a backside one. So really, if there's no one in your gap, no one on, there's no one to double team with the center, then you are just working to first backer inside. You're staying on your train tracks, working to the backside backer. Okay. But now if this guy walks up into your gap, he's in your gap. So now you're going to down block him, get your head on the play side number. Okay. Backside guard, pulling and kicking out the first guy on or outside the guard, which would be the 4. Okay. So we can't jump. I think this is trap, right? Maybe it's not trap. What is this play? Maybe it's kick. This must be kick. Oh, no. This can't be kick because he's going this way. Um, I don't know. Maybe this is kick. Okay. Let's say this is kick left. That would make more sense. Okay. Let's say we're running kick left. All right. So let's just scratch. Don't look at this. This isn't trap. Let's say it's kick. Okay. So if it's kick left, everyone's rule is gap on double to the backside. Okay. So we're all responsible for our right gap. All right. Gap on double. So Gabe, looking at you, there's a one technique. You got a guy in your gap. So you're going to block down. Now, if the center had nobody in his gap, you guys would double to the backside backer. But since the backside backer walked up into the center's gap, the center should have made a down call. So he should be blocking there. You should be blocking there. Backside guard, your rule is gap on double. The tackle, okay, should have made a tag call where you guys are doubling right here, okay? And then you guys are really working to this backside corner. That's really who you're working to, okay? That's what should have happened. So Carter should have blocked back, made a down call. You should be blocking here by yourself, Gabe. Okay. And you're working to that backside backer. So Gabe, you wouldn't go this way. We're working back. So really you should stay on this guy the whole time because the guy you're working to disappears. Okay. These two, the tackle and the tight end, are working to that backer. Okay. So you are always working to the first backer inside, the first backer backside from where we're running the play. Okay, the FBI. Okay, and AJ, you should be working this way. Now, AJ, I don't know if you thought this guy was on you, like you changed your rule and he's like, I got a guy on me, so now I got to block him. Okay. We just got to be careful with that because to me, he looks like he's lined up in the A gap and you could still be working back because you know the center should be blocking his gap. Okay, now it looks like we're running trap. Okay, now we're running trap right. Yep, we're running trap right. So our rule, play side guard, is gap double to FBI. Okay, there's a guy in our gap, so we should be downing him. If the center doesn't have anybody in his gap, he's going to make a cage call, so you guys are doubling. to that backside backer. Okay. Backside guard, you're pulling and kicking out the first guy on or outside the guard, the play side guard. Okay. So AJ, let's watch you. You false step here. You step backwards. Okay. Instead of stepping forwards to gallop down. Carter's trying to get in front, but the linebacker that you're comboing to, where does he go? He shoots right into Carter's gap. So Carter needs to be coming off and blocking down, and then you need to be turning and blocking down on the nose. Okay. That's that drill that we work on where we got a down lineman and a linebacker. Okay. And we have to adjust, we have to combo based off what they're doing. So you should down block here, and Carter needs to be coming off. You need to have your eyes on your linebacker. Gabe, this is what we talked about before. Is that if you've noticed that they're giving up a lot of penetration, you can back up to give yourself room to get around it so you don't get tripped up. And that's all that happens here is that you get tripped up on Carter's foot. And so then you trip and then you can't get to the kick out like you would want to. So just back up off the ball a little bit. Okay, now we're running dart. We're going to run dart to the right. Okay. So our rule on the play side is play side on backside. I got a one technique. I'm going to down him. If the center doesn't have anybody in his gap, he is going to double with you to the backside backer. The backside backer steps up into his gap. He's going to make a down call. So you're going to down and he's going to down. Backside guard, your rule is backside on play side. If there's nobody there, then you're just going to block back on the 4. Okay. So Gabe, you see this guy step up here? Okay, this is where what you do is fine. Okay, you thought he was on you, so you're going to block him. Okay, that's fine. Our backside tackle needs to pull. Our H needs to cover the tackle pulling. So he should be taking this 4 here and helping you out. The tight end should be stepping down and helping with the 4. Neither of them do that. So Gabe, what you do here is okay. I would just like to see you drive him off the ball instead of throwing him this way. Because when you throw him that way, okay, notice how you're kind of throwing him into the play. I'd rather see you drive him back instead of twisting and turning. Okay, right here, I'd like to see you drive him that direction. I'd also like to see you lower. Okay, getting underneath that guy and rolling your hips. Okay. Our center also needs to block back as well, I think. Okay. And then Xavier watching you, you got a 1. Okay, you got a 1 in your gap here. So we're blocking down. That's what you're doing. Okay, good. We should have had our pulling tackle right here. Okay, power to the left. Okay, we're running power to the left. Our rule is gap on double. We're responsible for our backside gap here, so we should have a cage double team with the center working to the backside backer. Okay. So Gabe, we worked to the wrong side. You should be helping out the center here. Okay, and you guys need to be working to that linebacker. So really, in an ideal world, okay, you shuffle down and punch the hip of the nose. That nose goes flying into the center's gap. Then you can work up and you can block this backside linebacker. That's what we want in an ideal world. But nobody gets to that backside backer. Okay. So I think he ends up making the play. So that's why we need to make sure we gallop down, punch the hip, so we can work up to that backer and get to him. Okay, Xavier, watching you. You skip pull around. As soon as you get past the garbage, we got to get vertical. Okay, looking inside. Okay, in an ideal world, I mean, the guy you're going to is correct. I mean, he's the first guy there, block the first ugly jersey. That's what we want to do. Okay, but we did not block this up correctly on the front side. Here we go. We run counter. Okay, we're running counter to the right. So our rule on the play side is gap on double. We're doubling with the nose. We're caging to the backside backer. Oh, look, the backer's up on the line of scrimmage. Our center's going to make a down call. He's going to block down. You're going to block down on the nose, who's most likely slanting into your gap. Don't give up any penetration. Make sure you step flat, get your head on his play side number, and drive him past the backside tackle. Okay. Backside guard, you are pulling and kicking out the first guy outside the tight end. Okay, so Xavier, good job keeping your leverage. Okay, when you down block, you can turn, you can open turn and block this guy. You don't have to shuffle down on a down block, but you still get your job done here. Okay, Gabe, you open pull. That's great. You find your guy. Okay, you're leading with your shoulder. I would just like to see you down on the hip. I mean, you bring a lot of power here, which is fantastic. Okay, but you'd be a lot more effective, especially against a bigger guy, if you were down on his hip. We want to hit him where they bend. We want to hit them where they move, which is on the hip. So I'd love to see you with a flat back here. Okay, punching him right in the hip. But I love your aggressiveness here. Okay. Okay, we're going to run truck to the left. Just kidding. We're going to run truck to the right. That's what I said. Okay, our rule is gap on. If there's no one there, we can pull on the play side, looking inside. Backside guard, your rule is gap to cut off, rip to cut off. Okay, there's nobody there, so you can just sprint and cut off this linebacker here. Okay. Okay, good, Gabe. That guy kind of cuts you off a little bit, but you get to that backer, then stay on him. Stay on him and don't stay on him. Don't let him do anything. Okay, stay on him until the whistle blows. All right. Okay, Xavier, you pull. You're trying to get around the garbage. That's good. Okay, we lose leverage, so that's why everything kind of gets flared out here. Good job trying to get around the garbage to get vertical. Okay, now we're running toss. Toss to the left. Okay, so everyone is gap on. We can't pull on toss like we do truck because everybody is reaching. We're reaching, we're reaching, we're reaching. There's no down blocks. Okay. Like on truck, we're blocking down with this guy so we can pull around it. But on toss, everybody is reaching, so there's no pulls. Everyone is just gap on the front side. On the back side, you are ripped to cut off, ripped to cut off. So with this linebacker walked up on the line of scrimmage, we can even rip past this linebacker and then work to a safety. Okay, so Gabe, watching you, just right up to that linebacker. Now, Gabe, the thing to learn is to run to where they're going to be, not where they're at. If you run to where he's at and the ball's going that direction, he is going to run that direction, and then you are not going to be able to block him. The ball is going that direction, so you need to run that direction, and hopefully you can turn and then get in his way and cut him off. If you run at him, you'll miss him. If you run to where he's going to be, you have a chance. See how you run right at him? And now watch what happens. You miss him. You grab onto him. That's a 10-yard penalty. They're going to throw a flag on that. And then we're going to be 10 yards in the hole. You cannot grab like that. You got to run to where he's going to be and turn back. Okay. Xavier, you can rip past the linebacker and work up to safety. Okay. And if you're blocking someone, stay on them. Don't leave them. Stay on them. Okay, this play we run. Man, I really messed these up. This must be power. Okay, yeah, this is not kick. Disregard that. It's power, not kick. We're running power right. So play side guard, your rule is gap on double. Okay, we are caging with the center to the backside backer. Backside guard, you are skip pulling, getting around the tackle, and then looking inside for first ugly jersey. Okay. So AJ, we got to get, first off, we got to skip pull. Don't turn and run, because if you turn and run, you got to turn this way and then turn that way, and it's really awkward. Okay, we got to skip pull. We got to get around the tackle. Okay, now granted, the tackle and the tight end had a terrible double team. Okay, but you should be right here and then looking inside. Okay. Xavier, you need to be down on the hip. You need to shuffle down, punch the hip, and then climb. Okay, you're just too high. I want you to punch the hip. Get your shoulder into the hip. You're too high. Shoulder into the hip. Okay, we're running boot to the right. So on the front side, we are making it look like counter. So we step down hard and then we come back and pass protect. Xavier, this is good. That's excellent, Xavier. Very nice job. Okay, backside guard. Step to 5 o'clock. This direction. I'd say you get to about 4. So that's not good enough. Maybe you're stepping to 3. Okay, you need to step to 5 o'clock. Okay, you are getting more depth, which is good, but I think that's because you see this guy is getting depth, so you're trying to meet it. Okay, it'd be better if you would have stepped at 5 because you would already be in a better angle to get in front of him. Okay, but the quarterback needs to pull up. If he flies upfield like that, the best thing you do is just kick him out. Okay, if he stays on the line of scrimmage, then you go attack his outside shoulder. Okay, truck. Gonna run truck left. Okay, our rule is on the play side is gap on. If there's no one there, we can pull and get vertical. Backside guard, you're ripping to cut off, even if there's a linebacker up on the line of scrimmage. Rip across his face, okay, and work up to the second level. Okay, try your best to rip across his face. Now, if this guy is beating you, okay, then you can just deli call and cut him. You can just go and cut his legs, put him on the ground if you can't get across his face. All right. But the best thing is that we can rip across and then work vertical and get go cut off the safety. Okay. Gabe, this is truck. So on truck, you can pull because we have a down block with the tight end. Okay. On toss, everyone is reaching. So if you pulled, you would never get there. Okay. You would never get to the outside on toss because everybody's reaching. But since we're down blocking on truck with the tight end, we can pull, we can pull. So on truck, you can pull around and you have a better angle to get to that guy. You see, because when we down block here, when we down block, you get cut off, you get picked, like in basketball, you get picked, and so you never have an angle to get there. So that's why we want you to pull around this so you can look inside. Okay, because you never get to that guy. On toss, you have a chance because we're reaching, and if that guy fights out, you have a chance to have a good angle to get to that guy. Okay. So on truck, if you're the play side guard and there's no one in your gap, no one on you, you can pull. Okay, we run counter wide. So if you're the pulling guard, you're just thinking it's one gap wider. Okay. You're just staying tight to the line of scrimmage. Stay tight, stay tight, stay tight. Okay. Until you find the first guy and then you go kick him out. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm just looking at the running back. His path was terrible. Play side guard, your rule is gap on. Okay. Gap on double. You got a backside one. So then you just work on your train tracks, the first backer inside. Okay. So you should just good. You step, you check your gap, and then you're working to that first backer inside. Do we get there? Go you him out. Okay. You get there, run your feet, stay on. Okay. Good. Good, Xavier. Okay. I think we run it again here. Okay. Now the one technique's on the play side. So we're going to block down unless the center has nobody in his gap. Then he's going to make a cage call. So you guys are doubling to the backside backer. You're trying to punch that guy over into the center's gap. Okay, you guys are comboing to him. Backside guard, you're pulling and kicking out. Okay, let's see how we do on the double team. Okay, we're a little too high. It's not too bad. Okay, good. Yep, the linebacker flowed over the top, Xavier, so I can tell you're trying to work to get there. So that's good. Okay. That just like I said, this is the worst case scenario. If we have a guy in the gap of the double team, it's really hard to get to that linebacker. So I'm glad, Xavier, you stayed on this because you knew that Charlie did not have that taken over yet. We got to take care of the first level first. Okay. So Xavier, you did a really good job here staying on the double team and not trying to work over the top yet. Okay, until Charlie took that over. That's really good. We take care of the first level first. Okay, Gabe, I talked about this. If you feel like they're giving up penetration, you can back up, give yourself some more room um to get there. Okay, we're running power. Power to the right. Once again, we can't jump, AJ. Okay, we got to sit there and be patient. We're running power to the right. There's a guy in our gap, so we're going to block down on him. Unless the center has nobody in his gap, then he's going to cage it, and you guys are comboing to the backside backer. Okay, have your eyes on your linebacker. You guys kind of, I think he throws you off. We can't have that happen. Okay, you need to try to punch him over to the center. The center's trying to take him over, and then hopefully you can work up to this backer. Okay. Unfortunately, we just get thrown off and look where the linebacker goes. Your linebacker, okay, ends up right here in your gap where AJ should be coming off, and he's the one pretty much making the tackle. Okay. Xavier, you got to skip pull. See, when you run, first off, you're too deep. I mean, the running back is running into you because you're so deep. Okay. You got to get outside the tackle. So you should be staying tight right here, and you should be getting up into this gap. You should be right there. That's where you should be. Okay. Right there. But you're just way too wide. You're going outside the kick out block. This was our kick out block. You need to be right there. You are way too wide on this power. Way too wide. Okay, we're running boot naked. So we're running boot naked to the right. So we're running kick to the right. So everyone is gap on double. So we're all blocking back for our backside gap. We're all gap on double. So here, AJ, there's no one in your gap. There's no one on you. The center has a guy in his gap, so you're really not doubling. So you're just going to step down and kind of just sit here and wait for anything coming to your gap. Backside guard, you should be doubling with the tackle here. We should have a tag call where you're doubling here and you're just staying there on that guy trying to make it look like run. It looks like he made a down call, which is great. So he made a down call. So he's blocking down and you're blocking down on this guy. Now keep your leverage because we know we're running boot right. So don't let that guy fall over the top to the play side. That's good. Okay, AJ. So AJ, you should be stepping down this way. We talked about this on the practice field. Just step down to your gap and stay there and wait for anything coming because look what's coming. Linebacker right there. You should have been there to meet it right away. Okay. Unfortunately, we miss him. Okay. Do it the right way next time. Okay. Truck. Um, so this is kind of tough. This is in the center's gap. So the center's got to get here on this linebacker. Okay. It's kind of tough. I don't know where this guy's at. He kind of looks like he may be a 3, so maybe we could have stayed here unless the tight end said he's getting him. The tight end says I got him, then you can pull around still. Okay, center should be here. And then AJ, we are ripping into the A gap and then working up and really working up to the safety. Okay. But our center was wrong here. Our center should have gone there. And you're ripping up to the safety, and we would have been good to go. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Jackson, I'm going to watch your pull. You got to get vertical now. Okay. Both you and Mosman are way too wide. Once you get around this down block, you're getting around the tight end's down block. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. Once you get around that tight end's down block, we got to get vertical. I think we run it again here. Okay. This time you decide to stay. That's okay. I think that's fine. just to make sure we get that sealed up. Okay, AJ trying to rip across his face. We got to try to get that done. Okay, this looks better. Yeah, it looks better. But just know, I mean, the center should have his gap, so we still might be able to pull there. All right. I hope you young guys watch this video and I hope you learn from it because there's a lot of good stuff.